Nintendo, I love you. You know that, right? And you all know that out there. I just love Nintendo to death. And you know what? Right now, their E3 game is the best it's ever been. The E3 2017 presentation was pure gold. It was everything I could possibly want from a presentation, packed with announcements and devoid of the kind of awkward, uninteresting filler we see at many presentations from other companies. However, it's been a long journey to get where we are now, and some of Nintendo's past E3 presentations have been less than stellar. 2015 led me to make my very first critical video on the company. Then, of course, 2016 didn't have a presentation at all, though to be fair, just by showing off Breath of the Wild, a lot of people said they still did a pretty great job. And before that, back when they were still doing live shows, we were treated to ample amounts of that awkward stuff I just mentioned. The stuff that, for whatever reason, is just required whenever someone in the game industry gets on stage. But there is one year, my friends, that takes the cake. There is one E3 presentation that was so horrific, public viewing of it has been banned in 13 countries. So I must warn you, dear viewers, to look away now if you are faint of heart. Go rewatch the 2017 presentation, or the 2004 one where they revealed Twilight Princess and Shigeru Miyamoto came out with a sword and a shield and the crowd went bonkers. Yeah, that one's nice. If you're ready and willing, though, I will now take you back to a different time. 10 years ago, to the faraway year of 2008. Last generation was a particularly interesting time in the history of E3, and much of this was thanks to Nintendo. Who is the intended audience has always been a difficult question when talking about E3 presentations, as time and time again we've seen companies talk to their audience of millions of 20 and 30-something gamers as though they were non-gamers. They make huge, uncomfortable presentations for their small handfuls of rich investors, and the rest of us are left grimly amused at best and bored out of our minds at worst. But when the Wii hit the scene and Nintendo struck casual gold, Microsoft and Sony spent the rest of the console cycle trying to get a piece of the pie. And that, of course, meant all three companies were competing to put out the most cringe-inducing presentations imaginable. While very few shows will ever beat the likes of Mr. Caffeine or that famous Konami conference, Nintendo set a trend when they brought pure terror to E3 2008. The problem wasn't just embarrassing demos, however, but a game lineup that was... let's go through it. The first person to take the stage is Cammie Dunaway. Now, I don't know a lot about Cammie, only that she was in charge of sales and marketing at Nintendo for a while. I'm sure she's a nice lady, but she does not have the best stage presence. She's not exuberant like Miyamoto, or edgy like Aisha, or packed with memes like Reggie, or comically Disney villain evil like Patrick Soderlund, or kind of adorable like Bill Trinan. And it doesn't really help that she talks to the crowd as though literally 100% of them are soccer moms.
Mom, I love you more than anything. And not just because you bring me all the video games. Now, how could that not put a smile on my face?
She isn't on the stage long before we get to that E3 staple, the shoehorned celebrity influencer. And as we all know, celebrity influencers always come across as very genuine and communicate a great sense of relevance and coolness. Now, the problem isn't that Shaun White is enjoying the slopes on his Wii balance board. It's the forced laughter. Each manufactured chuckle intensifies my grimace and only stops right when I'm pretty sure my face is about to break off under the strain of it.
See you guys.
Soon Cammie hops on the balance board, and this gives us our first true E3 moment. What is an E3 moment? Well, it's when your brain kinda disengages very slightly and you stare at the screen with your mouth open, just a smidge, blinking slowly. As Cammie takes to the slopes, you think about how you're watching this presentation, hoping to catch a glimpse of the next Mario or Zelda or Metroid or Mario Kart, and the forced banter and uninteresting gameplay just seem to stretch on forever.
All right!
Finally, our good pal Satoru Iwata comes on and starts talking conference talk. It's that investor stuff I was talking about, just talking up the company and the Wii and all that. Then he starts talking about how gamers are always hungry for more and more graphical beauty in their games, and there's this tiny little moment when it's like, oh, is he gonna reveal something here, something beautiful? Then he says that teams are currently working on the next Mario and Zelda. And that's it. And it's like, what? Wait, no, don't go, Link and Mario, oh no! And all at once, that tiny little glimmer of goodness is replaced with talk of Wii Fit and capturing the casual market. For 9.5 minutes, he slowly works his way through his spiel on how great the Wii is. Then, nearly a third of the way through the presentation, what's this? A game? And a fairly big one. I could nitpick and say that Animal Crossing City Folk would end up being the least impressive game in the series, but you know what? I will give that one to E3 2008. A new Animal Crossing game. That's a good reveal right there. Good job. Okay, so what's next? Hey, it's Reggie. Things are really picking up now. Well, he starts by, talking about how many units the Wii and DS sold. Oh, wait, now he's talking about how veteran gamers are hungry for what's next.
And I promise I'll keep this short.
What? Keep what short?
Here are lifetime global hardware units.
The sales talk just goes on and on. Please stop, Reggie. It's 8 grueling minutes of sales talk. Then, just when you think you might soon lose consciousness, we get, more games. Here we go. They give us a little reel of third-party offerings. Star Wars, Rabbids, Call of Duty, and, I guess that's it. And Cammy's back.
Every year, portable games take a bigger bite of the total software pie.
Okay, here are some more games. We see Spore on DS, which is a little cool, I guess, and a second Guitar Hero title, which I'll admit features some pretty excellent footage of guys rocking them DSs, and a mention of the next Pokemon Ranger with no footage. Then an announcement for an exclusive Grand Theft Auto game on DS. Hey, that's neat. Though, no footage for that one either, just to mention. Then Cammy talks for a while about all the stuff that the DS was able to do that's only funny to watch today because this was the DS trying to be a smartphone basically 2 seconds before everyone in the world had a smartphone. Ordering food, getting airline info, looking up recipes, that sort of stuff. And hey, it was pretty interesting at the time until, smartphones. After that, Reggie comes on and drops what I think was supposed to be a big announcement, the Wii Motionplus. And this might be something of an aside, but I personally remember being pretty unimpressed that not even 2 years after the launch of the Wii, Nintendo was already admitting that the Wii Remote lacked the tech it needed. So here they were, hyping up this product, kind of like, hey, remember how you thought the Wii Remote would be based on early previews? Here's a thing that actually makes it that good. Only now it's an optional accessory, so right from the get-go, it's obvious that very few developers will utilize it. Yay! There's this intensely painful moment where I'm pretty sure Reggie is looking for applause and he just does not get it.
It's called Wii Motionplus. Wii Motionplus.
And with the reveal of Wii Motionplus comes the reveal of the next Wii Sports game, and you can imagine how that goes. We're given a long demonstration, then... Oh, dear viewers, this is the moment. This is when the roller coaster ride of horror crests the summit and takes its plunge. It's kind of like a train wreck, but the train is full of colorful paint. It's horrific, but also kind of beautiful. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wish this had never happened. Just look at it. Bask in its glory. This is, of course, the reveal of Wii Music, one of the most infamous pieces of Wii software, not because of the game itself, but because of this very E3 right here. After the purely excellent drum piece, Shiggy comes on and jams out on his Wii Remote for a while, and the forced politeness of the applause that follows is palpable. For the second time, we can tell that Nintendo is a lot more excited about their announcement than we are. The whole last segment of the show is dedicated to it. And in addition to the best drum solo in existence, we're also treated to this delightful little number. This, my friends, is E3 2008. This perfectly embodies the whole show. And once again, I have to say it's kind of excellent. As we move forward and companies continue to learn who's actually watching their presentations, this is the kind of moment that's becoming increasingly scarce. There is indeed a part of me that will miss this. Finally, Reggie and Cammy come on to give us a little wrap-up of the show. Reggie insists that what they're capitalizing on is not a fad, which is again pretty funny watching 10 years later. Though he does say something pretty interesting.
It's inevitable. When the paradigm shifts, imitation is just around the corner.
He was abso-stinkin-lutely right about that one. The very next year, both Sony and Microsoft would reveal their answers to Nintendo's Blue Ocean. The Kinect, which was a good take on the casual idea, and the PlayStation Move, which was an exact copy of the Wii's concept, basically. So I may be laughing now, but Nintendo was the one laughing back then. Anyway, clearly now it's time for the big announcement. That one more thing that we've all been expecting throughout the entire show. I mean, there has to be something. We haven't really seen anything at all. So what is it, Reggie? Lay it on us!
Thanks for your attention, and we look forward to seeing you over the next few days.
Nope. That's it. One game, folks. One game. Nearly 2 years after the Wii's launch, when momentum is stronger than it's ever been for any Nintendo console ever, right when the games should start really rolling in, we get Animal Crossing. And that's it. It's hard for me to count the tiny handful of less than exciting third-party games, and Nintendo, I'm sorry, but if I'm honest, it's hard for me to count the Wii Sportses and musics and whatnot as well. That's just not the kind of stuff that's ever really excited me. That's the blue ocean stuff, the stuff for the grandmas and the aunts and uncles. And when you strip that all away, E3 2008 brought one single, tiny, little game. Like, imagine if this year we didn't have Smash or Yoshi or Fire Emblem or any of the other confirmed titles, and Nintendo announced Animal Crossing and 1, 2, 3, 4 Switch, and that was it. Despite the Switch's sales still skyrocketing, that was all they had lined up for its second year on the market. It's a truly nightmarish prospect. But that was reality a decade ago in the cursed year of '08. Fortunately, times have changed and we're looking at one heck of an E3 on the horizon. I hope you found some morbid amusement in this look at Nintendo's dark, dark past, and I also hope that you learned from it, lest history should ever repeat itself. See you later! This video was edited by editing wizard Farfetch'd Reviews. He has a really excellent channel and you should go check it out. And folks, it has happened. First I read the names, then there were so many names I had to put them in text, and now there are so many names I've got to scroll them so you can actually see them, and there isn't even any room left to put me in the frame. But these names scrolling by, these are some of the beautiful people that help keep this channel running. They are, of course, my top patrons over on Patreon, and if any of you wonderful people watching would like to help out as well, you can get behind-the-scenes updates on future videos and chat with me and your fellow patrons for as little as $1 a month. Thank you for watching, and you have yourself a glorious day!